Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mamadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. Today I'm going to wrap up because from next week on, I think Vijay Kumar is going to take classes. I discussed last time the Karma Yoga. Karma becomes a yoga only when you bring Ishvara into picture. Otherwise, any action is an action. It becomes a yoga, means yoking the mind to the higher only when the higher is brought in, that is Ishvara. So I discussed in terms of two laws of karma. One is you have only choice in performing an action, not in the results. Karmani eva adhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana. Never. And the second law I discussed is yajñārtam karma anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Do for the sake of yajña. Otherwise the karma will bind you. How many of you didn't come last class? Oh, wow. That shows that you have to come to every class. So obviously I cannot repeat all that. So yajñārtam karma anyatra, if you don't do for the sake of yajña, it's going to bind you. I told yajña, I gave several meanings. Yajña means also the Lord. So in the Vishnu Sahasranama, yajña comes as one of the names of the Lord. So yajñārtam means for the sake of the Lord, means for sake of the Ishvara. So Ishvara arpita buddhi has to come, and when you do that, then karma becomes a yoga. Otherwise, it's going to bind you. That's what Krishna's warning. And we said how I discussed yajña also means a cooperative action done in a self-sacrificing way for the benefit of totality. That is called yajña. So everyone doing their part, their best. In a self-sacrificing means, I want something, you want something. No, you sacrifice your own self, your self needs, and do what is best for the totality. That's called yajña. Then only it will not become a binding. So I gave a lot of explanation for that. And there are also discussions in the Vedas and all that. There are Panchamaha Yajñas. 5 yajñas, Deva yajña, and the Pitru yajña, Rishi yajña, Manushya yajña, and Bhuta yajñas. Deva yajña is you have to perform the action to benefit the Devas. Who are Devas? Devas are phenomenal forces in the nature. So what should I do? Means you have to do according to their laws. That's what it means. Following their laws. So what is that nature's laws, Devas, is don't try to destroy the nature. Otherwise nature will bounce you back. That's what Deva Yajña also. The Rishi Yajña means, Rishi stands for Vedas. Rishi Yajña means you are standing on a platform that's built by the great rishis, because you are Hindus who have, the traditions are there. And Rishi Yajna means you have an obligation to study and pass on to the next generation. This is called Shruti. Means you have to listen, learn and pass it on. As a Hindu, that becomes your own obligation. That's a Rishi Yajna. If you claim I am a Hindu, but don't know what even Vedas or what are our Prasthana Trayam means. Prasthana means 3 pillars of Hinduism. One is the Vedas, the main pillar, another is the Bhagavad Gita, and the third is the Brahma Sutras. Nyaya Prasthanam, Shruti Prasthanam, and Smriti Prasthanam. Prasthana means pillars that supports. You need 3 pillars. And Rishi Yajna means obligation to the rishis, because that you are getting benefit out of it. We are blessed with that kind of literature. It's a mushrooming literature. Not only the Vedas, there's the Bhashyas on that, and the Bhashyas on the Bhashyas, and all. It's mind-boggling work people have done in order to understand this. And Brahma Sutra, Badarayana comes as how to make a coherent statements out of the Vedas. Samanvayam. That's one of the sutras, Tattva Samanvayat. And this is all. We are blessed because, and there are Bhashyas on that, and the Bhashyas, and again Bhashyas on the Bhashyas. So that we can clearly have a clear understanding of what the truth is. And what is the truth? And why Vedas are the science? I discussed that in the first class. Truth is Trikala Abaditam Satyam. That remains the same in all 3 periods of time. Alone is the truth. So we have a Sat, and we have Asat, and we have in between Tucham. These are all analyzed. This is a Nyaya philosophy. The logic of Indian logic was developed 11th century. They called 11th century. There's a new logic. Before that, there's an old logic. And the Navya Nyaya is developed by Gangeya in the 11th century. You can see how much of deep thinking was there. So everything is defined there crystal clearly. What is an object? They have defined. I don't want to get into Nyaya Sastra here, but one has to study the Rishi as a part of the Rishi Yajna. That's what Chinmaya Mission tradition is, to unravel and make you to see what is the depth so that you can go and study yourself. And there's a Pitru Yajna. Pitru Yajna means obligation to my forefathers. You know, I come from a great family, you say. But what have you done to deserve? So at least I have to keep that name. And Pitru Yajna also involves the Veda Vihita Kammas also, Shraddham and all that, where you remember them. Shraddha is not for their sake, for your sake. Those are important things. That's a part Pitru Yajna. Manushya Yajna, service to the human beings. Service to the humans is Lord of Lords, right? Devotion to the people is a devotion to the Supreme Self. That's part of Chinmaya Mission pledge. That's why I told you not to be a parrot, just singing there and go and leave. Has to be inculcated into because Chinmaya Mission is pledge itself, a beautiful pledge, and if we live along with the pledge itself, that itself is a growth. Giving more than what we take, producing more than what we consume. These are real truths. It's a part of Manushya Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, service to the animals. At least don't destroy them for your pleasures. And don't make your stomach a burial ground. That's what I mean. Okay. I'm not going to get discussion of vegetarian, non-vegetarian. I have written an article on that also. It will be published one day. Yeah, by the way, it has been published. It's getting published. Advaita Academy is publishing a 3-volume series called Journey Beyond. And they are available in India now. They're starting in just last month it's available. 3 volumes. But you can get in United States also, Amazon, I think. But the point is, not that I'm salesman, I don't get any benefit out of it, whether you study or not. We have to, our obligations are there, and these are part of Pancha Yajnas to purify the mind. And people ask same question everywhere in all Vedanta classes. I've been studying Vedanta, attending Vedanta classes, I can even give talks and lectures. How come I have not realized so far? It's a common question. So there is a statement by J. Krishnamurti. How many people have heard of J. Krishnamurti? Oh, few people. He makes a statement. It's not an understanding as a thought, but it's an understanding as a fact. The same statement actually comes from Veda. It's called the Paroksha Jnanam and Aparoksha Jnanam. I learned first that Vijñānārtham sa gurum eva abhigachet samitpanihi sotriyam brahmanishtam. See, the Upanishad says go to a teacher and learn. That is our tradition, and that is how the Vedas have to be learned, and that's how you have to propagate that also, to pass it on to the next generation. People want their children to attend Balavihar, but they'll be sitting outside listening to something outside. Why? They don't think they don't need it. Have they realized? No. They realize that they don't need to realize. So what is that realization? Why do I have to realize? We have been searching for only one thing fundamentally, that I want to be happy. Nobody is searching for, I want to be suffering. The mother is ready to suffer so that the child will be happy, and the child is happy, she is happy. Follow how this cycle is? The people want ready to commit suicide also only because they want to be happy. They don't like the misery that they are facing. They thought that will end the miseries. If somebody solves all those miseries, they want to live. Mana bhuvam hi bhuyat. Let me not be non-existing at any time, because I love myself. I love any object only because that object gives me happiness. Right? This is a teaching by Yajnavalkya to his wife. Yajnavalkya says to his Maitreyi, "Are Maitreyi, oh my darling wife," just in case he uses a good phrase before. The husband does not love his wife. What he loves is only the happiness she brings in. And if she becomes a pain in the neck, what happens? You know the stories, right? Same way, he also very polite. The wife does not love the husband. What she loves is only the happiness he brings in. Everybody loves only happiness. But I love myself for what? Same reason, I am the very source of happiness. If I am the source of happiness, why am I looking for happiness outside? That's what the Vedanta says. You are trying to solve a problem where there is no problem to solve. Because I want this, I want this, I want this. Rat race from morning to evening, day in and day out. Dinaya sayam prataha shashiravasanto purvayata kala kridati gachat vayu. Shankaracharya said at that time, everybody knows here, there is no happiness anywhere in any object, including coffee, Madras coffee. Right? No happiness. Yet, first thing in the morning, knowing very well there is no happiness, I still want coffee. Why? Because I am still searching for happiness. And only I can stop searching for happiness when I get everything in the whole universe. There is nothing for me anymore. Right? The whole universe is infinite, so that's called Brahman. So when I get Brahman, then I am happy, according to the statement. And script says, you are Brahman. You cannot get Brahman, you cannot get infinity. No finite pursuit will give you infinite. So no action cannot give me infinite. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena chage naike amrutatvamana. We sing like every day, we are singing every time we come here. First thing, the prayer. Na karmana, not by actions. Na prajaya, not by popularity. If you get a lot of votes, you will be happy. No. Na karmana, na prajaya, dhanena, not by wealth. Chage naike amrutatvamana. So only by chagam, by renunciation, you get happiness. Amrutatvam is the eternal. Renunciation of what? You can only renounce. Recently I renounced the presidentship of the United States. I don't know if you believe it or not. You may laugh at me. Sir, you are not even a president. What do you mean? You can, I cannot give up unless I own it first. Right? For me to give up. So, Chage Naike means what? Giving up the wrong notions in your mind. That's what has to be given up. What's the wrong notion? I gave you in the first talk. I am this. Because I am a subject and this is an object, I cannot be this. But every time as you go out, you know that I am this, your biodata keep on increasing only. But without this, you cannot define yourself. If you go to immigration office, who are you? I am Brahman. What say? He said, that will put you somewhere. For transactional purposes, you need that. But understanding wise, I am not this. Then who am I? Oh, you sit down and inquire, who am I, who am I, who am I? Nothing will happen. That's why Vedanta is a means of knowledge of who you are. And how does it? That's what is the Jnana Yoga. In order to know Jnana Yoga, you need to prepare the mind. That's why Shankaracharya says in the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, he says there are fourfold qualifications required to enter into it. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Then therefore inquire into Brahman. Then means thereafter. Where means after gaining the required qualifications, prerequisites. What is our prerequisites? Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. These are the four fundamental qualifications required. After getting that, enter into inquiry. That's what the first sutra of Brahma Sutra, if you want. So Viveka, what is Viveka? Discrimination of what is real and what is unreal. Nitya, anitya vastu vivekam. And Vairagya, Tage Naike Amrutatvamana. Mumukshatvam, desire, I want that because this is not giving me the pleasures I want. In fact, when I go after pleasure of any object, I get three problems. One is, it is mixed with the suffering. Every gain involves there is some problem. I have to suffer to gain that, compete with the world to gain that. And I have to make sure that what I gained, I have to preserve it. Problem in gaining, problem in preserving it, and if I lose it after all that, it's another problem called dukkha misrita. All gains are involved or mixed with the suffering. Asantruptikaram. There is no satisfaction completely. Yes, I gained the whole thing. A cup of coffee, I'm happy, but now I want idli also. Because that's not giving complete happiness. After idli, then something else. So list goes on and on and on and on. Called asantruptikaram. And bandhakatvam, it binds you. So without the first thing in the Madras coffee in the morning, you should see me. I'm just giving an example. Not that I want coffee that much. That means that it becomes a bondage. That's called ragadvishas. It's called vasanas. So only person who has parikshalokan karmachitan brahmano nirveda mayanasya krutena, once who have learned that by action I will never get what I want. What I want? Infinite, inexhaustible happiness. To him, Vedanta says, Tat vijnanartam sa gurum eva abhigachet. Go to a teacher alone. Don't go to scriptures. Don't come to me. Scripture is telling. It's called Mundagopanishad. Tat vijnanartam sa gurum eva. Eva means alone. Teacher. Who is the teacher? Sotriyam brahmanishtam. Who himself heard from his teacher. And his teacher heard from his teacher. All the way to the Lord. And also there is a sampradayam, a traditional methodology of teaching. You go anywhere in the world, a Chinmaya mission, you will get the same thing. They may deliver may be different, but the essence is same. That's called sampradayam, methodology of teaching. Gurum eva abhigachet samitpanihi, with firewood. We don't need, at that time in those days, firewood is required. Now you bring your checkbook, that's all we need. I mean to support this, the tradition. Sotriyam brahmanishtam, one who himself abiding in the knowledge you have to approach. So how do I know my teacher is abiding in knowledge? He realized person. You will never know. Don't go and evaluate litmus test. Is he a realized person or not? There's no litmus test. Only person who has realized knows he has realized. So how do he says? You go to a teacher who is brahmanishtam. That's what the scripture says. So you assume that my teacher is realized. Then I have a faith in the teaching. Whether the teacher realizes is not no more my problem. That is teacher's problem. But I can realize if I have shraddhavan labhate jnanam, who has a shraddha. What is shraddha? Faith. Faith in what? In the teaching. And Shankara defines shraddha. Shastrasya guru vakyasya satya buddhyavadharana sa shraddha. Is in the Viveka Chudamani. What is shraddha? What is the Shastra, what says, scripture says is indeed true as interpreted by the teacher. Shastrasya first. Guru Vakyasya. A teacher is the one who points that his scripture says so. I am not the authority. The scripture is authority. Follow? All that are clear. Suppose I don't have those required qualifications what I have. The very fact that you are able to come and sit is enough qualifications to listen. Shraddha is there. The mind may not be completely purified, but purified enough for me to sit through in the Vedanta class. Some may be sitting because they won't allow unless somebody sits here. That's a separate, but they want to when they get out of it. But people who want, even though they may come like that, they get trapped because the logic of it is itself is appealing. And Shraddha will develop. So the other requirements is part of the Samadhi Shatka Sampatti, Shraddha comes. Okay, if I have that, what do I learn in the Vedanta? He says, analyze yourself. How do I analyze myself? And what do I gain by analyzing myself? I recognize that I am indeed Brahman, infinite. I think I am finite because I am identifying myself, I am this. And this is an object which is finite because this is different from that. When I say I am this means I am not that. Right? I am this is an ego. Ego is ahankara is, you know who I am, I told you last. And I am not that. And I want to get that also into mine. So this ahankara and mamakara, these are the two things that really drives us in this world. This is mine, don't take mine. Nothing belongs to us because we just came into this and we leave everything. In the Bhagavatam, Telugu Bhagavatam, Kare Rajulu, how many people know Telugu here? Oh, a lot of people here. Kare Rajulu Rajyamun Keluvare Vareri. So this is, Dhammaraj was crying, he says, how many kings have come? They won. What happened to all of them? Everybody has to leave. So that thing really belongs. So one of the meditations I teach also is how to see your own death. I don't want to get into time, but experience your own death. Every day. First thing in the morning or any time. Feel you are dead. What happens? Well, if you are dead, then what happens when people die? You think they have bank balances? Anything to house is mine, all those? Nothing. Everything is gone. No bank accounts, no this account, nothing. Feel yourself, nothing belongs to you. Because you are dead. The amazing thing is you feel relieved because even the body is not in the body is dead. They are ready to take to the cemetery. Some are crying. How long they will cry? Bharya bibhyati tasmin koye. In this country, even police will be there to make sure that this is taken out immediately. And you can watch all that. Don't think it is inauspicious because you are alive watching all this tamasha. But remember, Tyage, you give up everything mentally. Then you take up and knowing very well this doesn't belong, I'm only transacting with this. I need it to transact. But this doesn't belong to me because I'm dead. So you can live peacefully by dying every moment. Because 1 minute gone. Second is gone. You know what is time? Past is gone. Future is not come. On present alone we can live. And what is present? Present is where past is meeting the future. Right? This year is present. Today is present. This hour is present. This minute is present. Because past minute is gone, future minute hasn't come. This second is present. This microsecond is present. Because past microsecond is gone, future microsecond has come. This picosecond is mine. You can keep on doing. Present is also disappearing. No time. What is present? The fellow who is doing division. Remember? He is present. So your presence alone is the truth. And you are present all the time. You are eternal. Because you can see your death also. That's why one of the exercises. Remember, this is only talking, but you have to feel that intensely. Then only that realization comes into picture. Otherwise, just like I gave a story of the parrots, not for the children, actually for us. We repeat and then go. But that knowledge has to sink in. How? Constant nididhyasanam is required. Constant contemplation on that, one way or other. So how do I do this? So that's why in the Gita, 2nd chapter, Krishna describes who is the Arjuna asks, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. How does this realized person transact in the world? That's a question posed in the 2nd chapter itself. And Krishna gives a beautiful description, and the first sloka itself, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmaneva atmana tushtaha sthita prajnasya dochyate. The who is realized person, this is the litmus test. Prajahati yadakam sarvan partha, all desires are gone. Prajahati sarvan kama, without any exception. Means he doesn't have any desires for him to make him happy. I want this only to be for me to be happy. He doesn't have hatred also. If he gets, he's okay. If he doesn't get also, he's okay. So, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. In the mind, no more desire for I want this, otherwise I am going to suffer is not there anymore. Why? Because Atmani eva atmana tushtaha. He is happy by himself, with himself. Because the self that he is happy with is the infinite self. Sarva bhutastam atmanam sarva bhutani jam atmani. One who sees himself, not only himself, and every self is himself only. So there is no place where he is not there. So what is that he really wants? He knows everything. Body may need something. Don't get confused with body requirements versus his mental requirements. So if a Mahatma goes, if there is a potluck there, he will go and select what the body needs or used to. So transactional reality is different from understanding reality. But everybody are also only transacting. When Mahatma transacts, he transacts it as though that is the best. So that's why I used to watch Gurudev, because I am very, coming from a very suspicious mind. I was very careful and watching and learned so much, not only in the class, outside also. He knows that I was observing. I don't know how much, in the last camp was in the Washington, and we organized the last camp of the Gurudev, and we had somewhere, some distance away, and we had youth camp also at that time. So we had Yajñartham, means people were, everybody is working so cooperatively. In the name I was in charge, but I didn't do any work. In fact, there was a workers' bhiksha and I was only there. He was asking, what are your workers? Swamiji, they are all working. Then I asked me, you are the only one who doesn't do any work around here. I mean, that was the yajna spirit. Because he knows what. So the youth camp was also said. The youth organizer had a problem with the youth because they were not following some dress code or doing something. So he wanted Gurudev to tell them something so that they follow. But he was afraid to go and approach the Gurudev to tell. So he wanted someone. So everybody said, go with Sadaji. So that is the time I realized that I had to have something to do with the camp. So I took him there, and the Gurudev saw me coming with him. He knows there is something that has to be discussed. He said, yes. So we sat there and they explained the problem, and I was telling Gurudev what he has to do. So giving the, essentially instructing Gurudev what he has to do. He listened to me carefully. After listening, he looked straight into my eyes. Is that all you have learned all these years following me? That was real. What has that to do with the youth camp? Then he said, do you think I am the one who talks on the stage when I am on the stage? He said. The flashlights all over on my... In the chapter it says, Karmani akarmayah paschet saha buddhiman. Karmani, in the actions, who sees himself not a doer, while doing is going on by the body. Because the body, mind, intellect belongs to Prakriti, not yours. He doesn't own anything, while actions are done beautifully. So once he said, I immediately got up and pushed Sashtanga Namaskaram and fell down his foot. Because that was the teaching I needed, and that was the teaching he thought I needed. And you should see his face after that. So compassionate, with so much loving. As soon as I, put a namaskaram, and he says, he understood that I understood. That's what he smiled and says, okay, go. It'll be all right. But that was the powerful teaching I needed at that time. So the teacher is always ready to help when there is a need. That's a real teacher. And how I am going to learn that, how I am going to realize that truth is being taught in the Gita and in the scriptures. Gita is called Yoga Shastram, also Brahma Vidya. In every chapter you read that. Krishna Arjuna Samvade. Samvada means a teaching from the teacher to the taught is called Samvada. Vada means between two equals. Hey, let's sit down and discuss. Right? Let's run around and discuss. We don't do that. Let's sit down and discuss what is to be done between two equals to come up with. That's called Vadam. Samvadam, Vadam. It's called then Jalpam. Jalpam means, I know I am right, I know you are right, you are wrong. So my sitting down discuss with you is only to convert you into my camp. You will hear, the Christian missionaries come and tell you. They want to convert you into it. They don't want to listen to you. They want only you to listen. That's called Jalpa. And you go to Advaita, you will hear a lot of that. That's also part of discussion. And the fourth type is called Vitanda. Vitandavada. You might have heard these things. Vitanda means what you said is wrong because you said it. If I say same thing, it's right. That's called Vitandavada. Why? Because you are not qualified to say that statement. If a notorious liar tells something may be truth, you think it's a lie only. Right? So sometimes Vitantavadam is used to put down the opponents when they are arguing, unnecessarily, of course. So the Gita is Samvad, Sri Krishnarjuna Samvada, because from the teacher to the taught. So the guy is called Jagat Guru. And the teaching is eternal. It's not for Arjunas. So through Arjuna we are learning. What is Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha? You have to do your dharma. And what is your dharma? Ultimately, we have come from a Sanatana Dharma, Hindus, that which is eternal truth. And what is the eternal truth? Eternal truth is that which never gets negated. Trikala bhatitam. Remember, everything is self-consistent. So what is that? How am I going to realize? There are several techniques are given in the Upanishads. And one technique is called avastatrayam. Means examining the three states of experience that is universally applicable for everybody. Everybody goes through this experience. Analyze that correctly. What is those avasthas? This is the waking state, a dream state, and a deep sleep state. Three states. So the whole Upanishad called the Mandukya Upanishad talks about this. And starts with Omkara. That's why symbol of our Hinduism, we have a BMI chart. So Om comes first as a symbol for Hinduism. What is Om? Om Ichekaksharam Brahma. Om itself signifies the Brahman. What is Om? The Mandukya Upanishad talks about it. Akara, Ukara, Makara, Miti, A, U, Ma comes into Om. A plus U in Sanskrit called Om. And comes Om. And then silence after that. So it's Om and silence. A stands for waking state. Akara, Chute Vishnu is also there. Akara stands for Vishnu, and Ukara stands for Lakshmi, and Makara stands for Jiva. Ma stands for 25th letter in the alphabets. So Kavarga, Chavarga, Tavarga, Tavarga. I know if you know. I don't want to get into that, but in the 25th, that means there are 26, 25 are the corresponds to the 5 Panchakoshas and so on. If you count all, there are 25. 26 is called Jiva. But Upanishad, according to Vedanta, is A stands for waking state, U stands for dream state, and M stands for deep sleep state. So you are all awake, I suppose. Right? Not in the dream state or deep sleep state. So what? I am there and the whole world is there. I am a subject and the whole world is an object for me, which is different from me. These are transactions in the waking state. So I go through the all process of whatever, plus, minus and everything. And when I go to dream state, when I go to sleep, I slept in the air-conditioned room, beautiful, all the lights are off because I cannot sleep with the light, and AC room in the Dunlop bed and all that, sleeping. And suddenly I am in the dream, where I am in the hot environment, in the forest, running away because the tiger is chasing me. There's rivers and valleys and forests, and try to avoid and make sure that I don't get caught with that tiger. And tiger wants also, this guy is the best food I am getting now, I want to catch him. All in my dream. When I am in the dream, I am there. How did the dream come into picture? The suppressions and the oppressions of the waking state is projected as a dream world. Right? So those are the vasanas of the dream world. And after creating the dream by what? By my waking mind, I entered into the creation that I own created myself as a subject, one jiva in the whole creation, and looking at the world as though it is separate from me, and then suffer the consequence of that division. The tiger that's chasing me is only me, only I created it. Swami Teja says, I was dreaming the examination. And I was taking examination. I set the paper and I set the question paper also, but I failed in the exam. This is a fail. I am the creator of the whole dream world. I am means the mind, waking mind, with the help of consciousness is projecting the whole world, and I enter into it as a jiva, another jiva with a tiny mind and a body different from waking mind. And the whole world, the sun is there, the moon is there. If I am sick in the dream, I have to go to dream hospital to see the dream doctor only and take dream medicines. Right? All 9 yards. When I am a dream, that is the real world. I may be millionaire there. I may be pauper outside, but I am a millionaire there. But I am there. Whole dream world different from me. And when I go to deep sleep state, a third state, I am there because I say I slept very well. Yet, no world, nobody, including the wife you love or a husband you love, no children, no problems, no suffering. Everybody is happy because of lack of suffering. That's why everybody wants to go to deep sleep state, even in the class time. Right? Why? Because any duality causes a problem. Ditiyadvo bhayam bhavati. Uttaramantaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati. Any speck of division causes suffering. That's what Upanishad talks about. And there is no duality whatsoever. Not even space and time. Time is movement in space, and space is movement in time. Think about it, sir. But I am there. I am beyond time, beyond space. Right there, our experience. Everybody experiences. Oh, that's not real. Who says that? Waker state says, not the dreamer, not deep sleeper. I am there in the deep sleep state, all by myself. I am there in the waking state, I am there in the dream state. States are changing, but I am is same in all three states. It's called Anvaya Vyatireka logic. One is there, other is there. That's called Anvayam. Vyatireka is one is not there, other is also not there. That's called Vyatirekam. But Vyatireka he doesn't work here because I am there, other is not there. The waking state, gone. I am in the dream state. Dream state, gone. I am deep sleep state. States are changing, but I am same. Now you follow what is Avasthatrayam means? Then who is that I am? Independent of the states. There is no fourth state. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. But I am independent of all these states because states are changing and I am changeless entity. All the time. Trikala abhaditam satyam. That which doesn't change alone is a truth. You follow how scripture is coming in? States are rising in me and going back. And again dream state came, went back. Deep sleep state, came back. And therefore scriptures, the seventh mantra of the Mandukya Upanishads. It says, what is that? Na anta pragyam, na vahi pragyam, no vayata pragyam, na pragyanagam, na pragyam, adrushtam, avyaharyam. Not this, not this, not this, not awake, you are not awake, you are not a dreamer, you are not a deep sleeper, you are not ignorant, you are not knowledgeable also. You are unseeable, adrushtam, avyayam, you are indestructible. These are words that are used to point out in the direction for me to contemplate with the help of the teaching. Teacher doesn't say, the scripture says you are this, it doesn't tell you, because this again is an object. So, navak gacchati na manaha, not even a speech can go there, but yet it is pointing, called lachyartham, pointing for us to think in the direction for me to recognize who that I am is in spite of these changes. Chaturtam manyante sa atma savigneya. So in the end of that mantra it says, that which is prapanchopashamam shantam shivam, shivam means auspicious. Advaitam, that is which is non-dual, Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtam Manyanti. It is called fourth state only to differentiate these threes. Not that there is a fourth state. Chaturtam Manyante Sa Atma, that is the self, Sa Vigneya, that has to be inquired. By who? Who is an inquirer? I? No. This is a very strange, people should understand who is the one who realizes this. Who has to realize? Not the pure consciousness, Satchidananda is already infinite, there is nothing for it to realize. And the mind, intellect, body are inert, they cannot realize. Then what is this, who is realization here? So just briefly, because this is a very deep subject. Pure Satchidananda is all pervading, yet it gets reflected depending on the reflecting medium. Should understand that. So to give a simple example, I gave a light example, first class. You cannot see the light. You can only see reflected light by an object. If there is no object in the whole universe, then even though light is there, you cannot see it. Same way, you cannot see consciousness. It is infinite, cannot be seen. Yet, only reflected consciousness you can see. So, what is reflected? So, there are three, essentially there are subtle material and a gross material. That's what Upanishad talks about. Grossification, panchikarana and all that. The gross material reflects only the sat aspect. Just as the light example I am giving you, some are looking red, some are yellow, some are white. You know the theory of light here. Even though same white light, 7 colors are falling on the object, I see an object red only because all other colors are absorbed except the red color. Follow? If I say blue, because all other colors are absorbed except the blue color, so only blue colors get reflected. Why? That's a property of that electron property of that object. So apply the same. Even though Satchit Ananda aspects are there, only Sat aspect is getting reflected by the inert objects. So consciousness is infinite, but it is not getting reflected by the inert objects. Only existence aspect is reflected. In the subtle material, not only existence but consciousness is also getting reflected. So the mind can reflect the consciousness. In the process of reflection, mind as though acts like a conscious entity. Just as the moon as though acts as a luminous entity in the sky, even though moon doesn't have any luminosity. Follow? By the way, moon and the mind are interrelated. And no Ananda gets reflected. Only the consciousness and existence get reflected by the mind. Ananda also gets reflected in the mind if the mind is calm and serene. That is when I get my first cup of hot Madras coffee. Mind is calm, quiet, happiness. Where is it? Coffee. That's my misunderstanding, right? My mind has become calm and serene. If I can accomplish that, whether I have coffee or not, then I don't depend on coffee for that. For that, I need to recognize the very source of happiness that I am. So who realizes this? It is the mind problem. Mind thinks I am a self-conscious entity. And you are different self-conscious entity. Each one is self differently. That mind has to go to teacher and learn. Tat Vijnana Artham Sa Guru. He is a mind only to the instruction to the mind. Go to a teacher and learn. The mind that learns. And then what does it learn? The I am this, I am part is coming from the pure consciousness existence. This part is coming from body, mind and intellect. This mind learns. You follow now? Who is realization? Mind cannot learn unless it is enlivened by the consciousness. It is an activated mind because it has become as though conscious entity and say, I am a conscious entity. Mind is saying, it's not. Just like I am a luminous entity, my moon declaring, which is not. The luminosity that I exhibit is coming from the sunlight. That moon has to understand. Same way the mind has to understand the consciousness that I am part, existence that I am part, coming from that. And even Ananda part will also come, provided I purify the mind. Purify the mind means I want this, I want this. Tyage naike amrutatva manas. You follow now? The whole 9 yard, I just put it in simple form. You understood? Yes. Where is happiness? Out there. In order to sink in this knowledge, constant mananam, reflection, and nididhyasanam, constant contemplation. People study for years and years of Vedanta, but still claim they have not realized. Because the mind has not been purified enough to retain that knowledge. So, when you are in the class, everything is crystal clear. But as soon as the class is over, I can guarantee. So therefore, what happens? It's almost time. So they call FIR reduction happens. The intensity of perturbation, F, the frequency of perturbation, the intensity of perturbation, and the recovery time from perturbation slowly goes as you get abiding into the knowledge. With that, I'll stop. Let's do Purnamadana. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.